plenty. Yeah, something with about like very tough selection process and making space and effort and investing energy into one spot, one location, one basically group of people as well. Because I see the effectiveness of that investment. Very consistent work. Yes.
We'll already listening to my dreams together.
I don't really good times to be really incredible. Wait, why would you want to?
Oh, want to listen to Paulina? Time. Ready?
Thank you very much for joining me, Paulina, here chatting to you a little bit about this very interesting and very deliberate full moon, almost conjunct Saturn, that is happening on the 11th of August. So for me, there's a very, very nice, almost like a deep end or like a feeling centered to this moon. So this is not your regular joyous full moon during the Leo season. I think there is something very, very strong and sometimes also depressing about a moon like this. I have a Saturn moon conjunction as well in my chart, so I understand it a little bit. But like the thing is, it helps you, it helps you sort things out very fast, and it clears the air. So it's not that joyride that usually a full moon in Leo brings, but it is better than that because it is a practical and a very, very perfect and clear way in which your emotional body or your life or your body itself might react. So there is a very, very special diminutive energy that Saturn and Moon conjunction usually brings. But there's also an expansion. So if you, like me, have a Saturn moon in the sky, you might have no problems with this type of moon because you're already kind of noticing things as they happen, and you might be able to count in, program, or kind of predict things before they happen. So there's usually a predictive energy to a Saturn moon anyway. So if you, like me, have a Saturn moon conjunction in your sky, you're already kind of there. So before the depressing thing happens or before anything falls out of line, you already know. And also before anything great happens, you kind of can already predict it or see it. So that's something very, very important, I feel, for me as a Saturn moon to experience and learn more about. There is a depth and a meaning to any Saturn moon. But when we have like a lot of different things in the sky, so firstly, of course, it's a full moon, it's a completely different feeling. There is a big reason to live. We have Mars very close to the North Node. We have Uranus, of course, next to the North Node. Reason to live. Jupiter is very, very strong, close to Chiron and Aries. It's so hard. Reason to be. There's a huge reason seeking and reason finding feeling. Follow as close to the MC. We want to really feel what life is about. We want to really love ourselves. We want to really get to know who we are as people. We really, really are coming also to an ending or a next frontier of something or even somebody in our lives. There's a very big brewing or even a brooding behind the scenes. So for me, as an astrologer, I feel it's really important to see why else things can happen here. So we also have Fortune going through Libra, and that's very, very uncomfortable. You know, sometimes like Maki next to Fortune, also the mother planet, it's very, very hard to realize things unless they're already happening for some. It's such a brutal energy. I feel that for some people, there's going to be a very big change and a very big depth. Also, Pluto being at the end of Capricorn, Moon would have just passed through Pluto and kissed Chariklo as she goes towards Saturn. It is such a scary time, I think, for us. And I think there's going to be a very, very big burdening that comes with this moon. And I also feel there's going to be a very big blessing. So that's a very, very easy thing, I feel, for me to find now, looking over the chart here, because we don't usually see things for what they are during a Leo time anyway, because we're so big. And our egos or our hearts are in developments, and it's very, very hard to get to know anybody or anything. And it's so hard to be oneself also during this crisis that we're going through. We're still going through like a big interplanetary crisis, not just here. So like there's like a very, very big issue, I think, also with how people find themselves and what is love these days, and who isn't real enough to be your friend, or what is and what isn't pure or worth it. There's like so much, you guys, so many of us waking up and just understanding now we don't want to be anywhere near it. We don't want to be a part of it. We don't want to necessarily say goodbye to our friends, but I do understand that a lot of us are closing doors, simply shutting out what was once available or affordable, and that's hard. So I'm feeling that for me also a lot of people, I'm sensing there's going to be a shutting off. So sometimes people walk away from us, or we walk away from certain experiences and certain people. Also, we can wave the corruption goodbye. I think that a lot of us who have been waiting and willing to wait aren't going to will to wait anymore. I also feel that quite a lot of us are going to ask again, what is the reason that I live, or what is the purpose of that, what I'm doing? So a lot of that which we've been blessed to be able to do and produce during June, July, and a lot of this that has taken our fancy and our whim. We like really loved it, and we wanted to be secure. We wanted to be outward and obvious in front of people. There's a very interesting disheartening and de-securing that is happening during this month. Obviously, just to let us know what is actually real at the end of the day and who we are not to be anymore. So that's very hard, I think, for me as well. I think also for a lot of people that have been pulling in the one direction, or they've been trying the same thing again and again, or they've had a vision or a choice. And that's very, very also grateful, I feel, when you are at a certain type of brink or changing of tides and you get it. It's like, I fully now know where I'm not meant to be and who I'm not meant to be with. It's a very, very easy way to go. Also, I think that this moon is a big blessing, because she's going to touch you on the shoulder, like tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, you got this going on here, or like, hey, we do something about that, or like, can we really
Read
be
later
honest and proud
category.
here? And then eventually I feel quite a lot of it will just wash over. So I feel that always Aquarian moons are very deep and profound, and they're very, very public and full of it. They're very, very like full, and they're very emotive, and also sometimes a little unkind. But this particular moon also coupled up with Saturn there in the end isn't going to be easy, but it's like a very.
So this is
cheap
somebody
choice.
else's work,
So
okay?
this is what I'm really loving
Curation
about
wise.
this moon particularly, is that she's going to find you a way to make matters clean and clear, and let the picture be shown, and let you see the full result of your life, or the result of what you are trying to do here, and just be like, tap, 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 okay, do you understand? So she's a very, very thrifty girl. So as many of us moon Saturns are. And also, like, there's like no build up to things. This is very unquestionable time. There is sometimes an epic ego trip or an emotionality, especially in a tiger year for Leo. But we've got Saturn overweighing the moon, of course, in the sky. And there's going to be a very, very deep dissatisfaction. And then, like, after you just know it, and in a way you like enjoy it, you're like, yeah, I'm like fully like well equipped now, actually, in a way. I didn't even understand that I was to leave the situation. It's like, actually, you know what? Like, I've scanned like this whole situation. I've scanned this whole room. I've scanned my business. I've scanned my accounts, or I've scanned this relationship. And actually, you see, like, now that I'm here, I think I need a way out. And the thriftiest ways are possible. So sometimes there is something very, very cheap and easy. There's hand-me-downs. Tiger, you loves a hand-me-down, especially hand-me-down from a master. But be aware also, if you're like inheriting something from somebody else, or you're buying something for cheap that has been pre-used or pre-loved, you might have also a connection or a link to that person as a guide or a guru to you. So it's not just like cheap things standing outside someone's house on the street, or like for free, you know. It's not just a garage sale situation. That can look like one. It's more than that. Also, there is like a very easy way that people just give in. You know, they hand you something, or like the world just basically goes, look, like I can't afford this anyway, just take this. There's like a fallen leaf feeling. It's like leaves falling off the tree, and that's good. You know, also, like if you are here in the time of nearing the harvest, you know, if in your local city there's already like quite a big array of apples and pears, or I don't know, like Upuri, September, I don't know, like whatever grows on trees, you know, that is harvested now. That's kind of like that. It's like, look at all this fruit. And yeah, for some people it is a sadness. It's not like an easy thing necessarily to find what you're finding in your life, and how life works things out for you, or weighs things together for you. It's kind of like, well, this is just kind of like how the cookie crumbled. Like, I actually, it's almost like I was unaware of this, or like this was not like really part of me until it became me. Like, I didn't know that this was the way that my sled was going to go. I didn't really picture it as being this certain person, or the certain situation that would, again, you know, surprisingly like happen. It's not just about surprises, though. I feel with some people it is surprises. It is kind of like, look, take it or leave it. Here's the door, or here's the entry, and this is how you're going now. This is where we're going now. I think that's a very, very easy way to go. I think for a lot of people there has to be a very deliberate yes. And I think that sometimes like we can't afford to do it any other way. So there is a need to be sometimes like taken by the hand, like, okay, look, I'm just taking you to the doctor now. You know, like going to see a medic, having to spend or receive money for something very quickly. You know, there's kind of like almost like a which way to go? Here, this way to go. Okay, I don't know which way. Okay, here, this way. So this time signature of Saturn being next to the moon during this time is very, very important, and a quick rebalancing. Also, as she would have passed Chiricor and Pluto in the sky, so she would have become cleansed or hyper-driven, or even extended or accelerated, as Pluto would infuse the moon with so much more power and meaning, of course, and velocity. And then this electricity eventually goes into the right door. It's kind of like pinball. It's like, I don't know which way. I don't know. Oh, here, this is the way. So if you've been brewing something for a long time, interesting. If you didn't know what to do, if you didn't know what to be, if you didn't know where to go, if you've also had, like, for example, it's quite careful with this, a lot of money sitting there in your wallet, you didn't know how to spend it, or a lot of options given to you, and you just like didn't see which way. There's going to be an acceleration of consciousness. There's going to be an extreme. So sometimes things just get stuffed into a bag. That's the feeling that I'm getting with this particular energy. So it's like, look, I'm just going to pick you out something, and you're gonna go ahead and wear this, or like, here, look, I'm going to find you a result. It's going to take me like 5 minutes to do, and then you're gonna go, and then you're gonna apply that result. So there is like a quick matter of factness about this type of energy, and I think that we have to be sometimes very obvious as to why things have happened this way. You know, so there is like a shuffle. Also between people, I feel there is a shuffle and there is a time. It's just a very, very creepy way in which one person leaves town and another person enters town. It's a very, very quick, cheap and easy turnaround. So when it comes to, like, say, marriages, homes, relationships, having certain things in this place and then having them in another place. There is a very, very timely and guru way, actually, in which this Pluto would have fortified the moon in the end of Capricorn in order to quicken her just enough so she just jams into the slot where Saturn is. And as she becomes full eventually, so I'm seeing on the 11th, she won't be exactly, but like she will eventually become full. As she becomes full, she will give you everything. And sometimes we have to be very, very niche or very humble. And that's very, very crazy, but sometimes it's very quick. Like it's a quick to judge energy, and it could be very, very awful sometimes how things end up as well. Like if you're going through return of Saturn, like I'm so sorry, you guys. Wow, like it's awful. Sometimes like very quick and very scary, like very sketchy way in which things can turn up. But also at the same time, it's a big relief. Sometimes situations are expensive for us. So we're talking thrifty, right? So it's expensive to hold on to the job. It's expensive to look at that all day. Like it's so expensive for you to live in a certain way. Maybe you are putting a lot of energy, money, or time into something that is just like taking you like forever, and it's taking you around the bend. And it eventually takes so much time, energy, and power to fix these things. And without these type of snippets, like snipping moons, I wonder what would happen. So it's like a snip. Things are done without you even noticing that they're done. Like things are changed even without you feeling aware that they changed. Culture changes very rapidly. So we're looking at Aquarius, of course, culture, where people do actually now want you around and how people do accept you, or if they don't. If somebody wants to be around you and is open to you at a drop of a hat, that also is a very interesting thing. Or like if a ongoing, like step by step feeling in the wrong direction, you've been going in the wrong direction and still kind of cruising, like yeah, it's okay, like it's going okay, it's affordable for me to be here, like say if you're just cruising and you're okay, there's going to be a snap also. So if you are doing things that are not to do with you, if you're doing things that are not close to your heart or your heart center, if you're not making enough money at a job when you're still trying, or if you are putting your situation at risk also, and if you are doing nothing all day as well, and you are not complying with your progress with nature itself, if you're not being who you are fully, if you are not enjoying your life, or if you are taking money or resources, energy or power from another person that doesn't want to give it to you anymore, there's going to be a snapping off, which is what Saturn is known for. So any pressure on Saturn is hard. Any placement of, any planet next to Saturn is very, very uneasy. So if you look at your chart, if you've got something next to your Saturn, like, gosh, like, I'm sorry, it's so hard to have anything, because Saturn doesn't like anything. Like, Saturn just, like, slaps it away. So if you have the big, friendly, and kind of global Aquarian moon, like coming up like, hey, 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 I've just visited Pluto, I'm so nice, or like, I'm at a nice sextile to Chiron, like I know myself, I know everything. It's like, like I feel good, I look good to myself, I'm like a cat on the prowl. Like there's like this kind of like slightly flamboyant, annoying feeling sometimes to an Aquarian moon person, because they already they made it. Aquarian moon is like that's the highest moon. It's like the most joyful, brilliant, sensual, colorful, and also kind of slightly weird moon. It's like, so I did the juice, like I've worked myself out, so look at me. It's like kind of weird like that. It's like a little creepy. It's like a little creepy. It's a little left behind as well. It's like, well, I've seen life for what it was. And guess what I know now? So it's a little bit like a do-gooder moon. And eventually that door, so like Saturn is like, okay, like really dry, very dry. And it's also very kind of derogatory at first. I mean, can you imagine this fluffy, colorful, well fed, well dressed, sexy, like slightly strange, moon coming up to this door where Saturn is like, it's not really a bouncer, it's just like the gatekeeper, or like the time watcher. And he's like, who are you? What are you doing here? It's like a very, very weird little sort of a theatrical idea of what this moon really is. And I do definitely understand that with Eros also, and Sarah is close to the sun, quite close to the sun, we don't want any of it. We're like, wait, I'm well fed, I'm well dressed, like I'm actually like doing business pretty good this year, like I found my match, or like I found the one. And then Saturn in Aquarius is gonna be like, no. And also it's a retrograde Saturn, so that's very, very difficult for me also. I mean, I'm just like a normal regular Saturn moon conjunction, but like a retrograde Saturn, wow, you gotta really look back. You gotta look back. And you also got to look forward, but before you go forward, you have to check. It's like, have you got enough money? Have you got enough people? Did you do the work? Did you? And here's where quite a lot of people really, really well and surprised as to how well they've done. So this is where the cat lands on its feet no matter what. That's a really, really beautiful thing. So it's like, the cat just lands on his feet. So Leo does really well. For some people, if you have done the work, if you are the person that organizes and spruces and clears and cleans and takes care of business and doesn't let rubbish sit there stale in the kitchen, and doesn't participate in weird social things, always makes sense. If you're a person that's made sense, always made sense, and if you've got your road pretty well ironed out in front of you and behind you, it's going to be so easy. I actually think that for a good organizer and a very sturdy person that knows who they are and knows how well they've done before and knows what they have to do now, I think the answer is going to be very easy. It's going to even be for some, I've been waiting for this. Like, I've been saving my money for this. I've been doing my dues, like waiting for this. I've been expecting things to go this way. I've been waiting for this to happen. So if you're one of these people that is very, very well equipped for almost anything, and your house is spick and span and your bag is ready to be packed, sometimes, it's one of those moons, and you know what number to call, and you've got it all on tap and you've got it all together. If you are very, very well and you know everything, by now, and you hear me and you don't even flinch anymore, maybe you would be very well. If it comes to jumping in on an opportunity, it's a very nice time here to walk in on something that you really, really had to see or really had to witness. It's a very, very brilliant and sensitive time where, you should have been there to be able to benefit, or to be able to see it, to believe it. Like, it's a really, really good and even fancy time. So I'm seeing quite a lot of you guys, if you are an over-prepared perfectionist, and if you tend to see things for what they are and even belittle things, if you're a bit stern, if you're a little bit sorry, aggressive about the details, and you want to make sure that that sternness is also seen as love sometimes, because maybe you over-prepared out of love in a way, or maybe you over spruced, or you over cleaned, or you tried so hard to make sense, you tried so hard to make it. And like, for example, for an Olympic level athlete, it's an incredible time to shine. So I definitely do understand you. Not many of us really do this in life, but if you also have a certain type of reality where you are honestly like constantly studying, constantly trying to get the best out of you, if you are a very good teacher yourself, if you're a very good knowledgeable guide, and if you are really truly a humble and caring king of your castle, and you really know what that means by now, I salute you, because this is going to be opportunities, lots of opportunities, especially if you're a really good stern guide. Like, if you're a professional, if you know your stuff, if you really, really, really understand, and you have a certain type of sensitivity that comes out of practice and diligence, and wanting stuff to matter, like you want it to matter. Like, you want your life to matter, you want your practice to matter, you want your friends to matter, You won't at all to make sense. I think it's going to start to be a very, very breathtaking and very kind space. So, especially if you have been hurt before and you didn't
I'm
see any
believing this.
results. So, like, say you didn't see any results from trying so hard, if you didn't think that you'd get noticed, if you never thought that you would be as blessed as you can be now, I think it's a very, very big definite yes for those people that have come such a long way. And also, if you have, for example, a father or a mother line in your family that has done a certain type of business or has owned a restaurant or a shop, or if you've got something historical that has already been seen and noticed and loved, and if you're repeating something in your mother's or father's footsteps, and also if you are taking care of the elderly or the young, and if you intend for your family, your home, or your business to go into the future, and all transparency and all care and intense love, because in a way Saturn does soften us, so that lovingness sometimes is just like, wow, I care so much, I just want to get it right, that kind of thing. Really, really helps. So quite a few people that you probably didn't expect to win anything this year around, you didn't see them at all for who they were before. Quite a few people that actually really did put the work in, and many of us that actually did really, really want to thrive no matter what. And maybe there were ways in which we have achieved something that other people don't, then we'll see the point of it now. So we're going to see the point of, like, say, building a house. We'll now see the point of, like, say, doing your own stuff, living off grid, or doing a multifaceted business by yourself. We'll see that. We'll see what for and why. And also, as things start to crumble for some people, we'll see an elevation of other people. So this is more of a global prediction. I do definitely believe this is not maybe interesting for some people, but we will see a crumbling and disintegration of things that are not necessarily done badly, but they're like a repetition of something else somebody else has done, or they're made to catch your attention. Things that are just like made to catch your eye, and made to kind of make you feel something. And people that are fighting for your attention, people that are just cheap, they're kind of like friendly, but they don't actually have you in their hearts. Also, businesses and commercial endeavors that don't mean anything, but they're just so flavorful and so colorful, and they look so lucky. But you see, Chiron, even retrograde, is getting very, very close to retrograde Jupiter. I mean, Jupiter in retrograde, we're getting close to retrograde Chiron, and we have also retrograde Juno conjunct retrograde Neptune behind. And we also have actually a retrograde Pluto here. Even Chariklo is in retrograde. It's crazy. Like, I'm going to tell you actually who's in retrograde these days, just for fun. So we got North and South nodes, Chiron, Eris, Jupiter, Neptune, Juno, Vesta, Saturn, Chariklo, Pluto, Pholus, all in retrograde. That's an emotional roller coaster.
There's no such thing as personal on the internet,
And we
Alana.
also, I think, are starting to really just want to look. I just want to win. So on whatever level, sometimes it's not like that. It's just like I understand that some people are going to have
This
to
girl
lose
is
a lot
super
to
lost.
get humble and get home, or they're going to gain a lot depending on their predecessors and their history. So I think that some of these retrograde poles, like mega poles, are not just about like we and what we're doing today or how we're going now. I don't think it's actually about
Please don't do
here
this
and
in
now,
real
as a lot
world.
of social media has been, and a lot of like the drama on TV or in the music industries, whatever. Social media is so like here and now. It's not actually here and now. There's going to be a mega pull, I believe, culturally and magnificently, towards the simple things that actually sustain the world all along. So getting back to the normal elemental
super
things,
boring.
like,
my loves this.
water, fire, air,
Right.
earth. ether, wood, metal,
Movement,
others.
insects.
Like sometimes, like for some people, like it really takes a long time to learn that life is just about the simple things. I feel that a lot of these cozy places that we've shared with certain people that were and still are like rude or rough on us are not going to be able to stand a chance. There's always a softness to Saturn. Saturn is not just a cruel thing. It's also like, look, old age is something that we're going to really understand. Maybe we'll have a different type of conversation about it later, but like it is feeling to me that this conjunction of Moon and Saturn is a question mark. What am I going to do when I'm old? Especially in Aquarius, like what am I going to be a part of when I'm older, like even next year? And 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, who am I going to become? Who am I going to be if I am still doing this, or if I'm still part of this group, or if I still care so much? Also, like the question is, where have you been putting your sequencing? Time, Saturn, time, sure, whatever. It's also like about what you've been putting your hands to. It's like, have you been painting? Have you painted a lot of paintings? You don't know what to do with them. I've been one of those people. Yeah, I just left them. Imagine, crazy. So it's like books. Like writing books, or just like writing blogs. Like, I don't know, painting your nails. Like keeping up appearances. I don't know. Like we all put our time and energy towards something or somebody. It's like I've been making a castle. This is very Leo. Okay, I've been making a castle. Out of, and it's interesting because we don't have to look that much further than just things in Leo. Sometimes it's like, look, I've been making a castle out of pottery. I love making ceramics. That's my little castle. Or like, I've been making a castle out of paintings. Or like, I've been making a castle out of phone numbers that I like to collect and call or play with. Or like, I've been making a castle out of my friends on Facebook. Or I've been making a castle out of yoga books. I don't know, like anything. Like collecting underwear, collecting friends, collecting quotes, making sure that you're doing well. Like, what is your castle made of? And now we have to, maybe, you don't have to do this, have a look at the deeper and more profound meaning or meanings of that very castle. It's like, for example, like I have a castle of woven baskets.
Not really well
And when I
done,
was
Alana.
a child, I
Somehow
remember loving
everything is
baskets, and I think my
not
hands
great.
remember how to weave them. Maybe one of my ancestors, or 4, or 12, or 90, used to weave baskets too. That's a very interesting thing. And when I weave, I feel like my hands are strong, and I feel strong in my body, and my whole body feels good. I'm one of those people. I weave baskets. For example, okay, here's another one. I clean. Another one. I clean a lot. I love my whole house spotless. I love to clean and organize, and I do so many things to make sense to me. So sometimes my life makes no sense, and oh my gosh, just to see a good, clean, well-smelling, well-presented home brightens up my day. Great. And inside is sometimes, okay, when my mother was angry at me, I used to go to my room and just clean my room because she told me to clean my room. And then like I felt better. I felt sick and I felt bad, and then whatever. And then like when I got married and I was still cleaning, you see, you got a story with it. Any castle you're building, the castle of, I don't know, the cheese collection in your fridge.
But it's not great, no?
It's a castle.
I mean, look, you can tell that it's not done by professionals.
Also, like the.
Let's be very honest, you people. Like, you pretend to be fashion, you're not fashion.
Like nail polish collection. That's a castle, collection of shoes. Your collection of memories that you, if you really always love to think about things that happened in the past, that's a castle. Especially Saturn next to Moon. Wow, it's a castle. What is your castle made of? And what does it represent? authentically. So this is Saturn moon, authenticity. It has to be authentic. And then you see how much further you can grow and sequence, and how much further you have to maybe leave things be. Like, whoa, I had no idea that was happening in my life. Like, how can we make it better? And how can we make it worse, maybe? But the best idea is basically to see it in perspective. It's like, okay, I have a huge collection of, imagine what could be for you. I don't know. What do you have? I have a big collection of what? Like, what do you have?
Oof.
You know?
Links. I have
Collected all of
links.
this, you know, and then understand what it means also unconsciously. You don't have to do this, but if you understand what
How
you
much
are
money
grounding
are you ready
your
to pay
ego
for
or
these
your
links?
heart, like your feel-good energy, Leo, where you're grounding in your money, where you spend,
The opposite
where
of
you're
tracking.
investing your time. If you really get it, if you know what you are doing and how you're investing your time,
What is
that's
time,
where
Palina?
you really get it. That's where you got it. That's wow, what am I doing?
There's
You
no
know?
time, Palina.
And then maybe some people will be very proud. You know, after a lifetime of that, I got myself to this by doing this. You know, so it's almost like a boat that gives you an answer. You know, it gives you an idea. It's like from, for example, depression and lack. Example, I used painting to get me to a nice job and stability. Example. For example, from pessimism about my life and not feeling good about myself, I chose fashion. Example. And the art of
Really?
appearance. Example. To get myself to a state of knowledge and realization. Example. So it's not all black and white. And I think it's really, really good to get there and also to understand and readdress your collections
Something's off. It
and
doesn't want to
what
show
you spend
us.
your time doing, and understand why you have a big amount of something also. And if you have, like, for example,
Don't
an
want voice
overbearing
assistant.
amount,
Mutiny is a rebellion.
fortune during this interesting moon. If you have an overbearing amount of, like, say, makeup, if you have an overbearing, like a huge, also deficiency,
Dematerialized still
with
alive?
calcium. You know, if you have a giant debt or like a huge bank account, it's interesting. You can see what is going on and also what is right and what is wrong. So this is a very, very interesting, intimate time that sometimes nature does it for you. If there should have already been a change or there is a change coming, it will probably happen now. And I think that's also a very much exciting time for me, because I think that as we part from Lilith in Cancer, and yes, Venus is behind the Sun, we start to gradually understand, you guys, our naturalness and the simplicity that we are after, and our normalcy and our simplicity and our care and the different wants and needs. And I think, to be honest, like, without sugarcoating this too much, I feel that we'll see very fast what is wrong and what is going against that which is natural for us, which is what this moon is really about. So
Cute,
thank you
this
very much.
one.
Enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Also, please check out the links below. Bye.
What are the links below over there?
And thank you very much for joining me, Polina, here, chatting to you a little bit about this very
channel. Well, today I want to talk about the full moon that's going to be occurring on August 11th in the sign of Capricorn. And yes, I'm talking about the sidereal Vedic placements. So the moon will be 25 degrees of Capricorn, which also
Oh,
sits
Dematerialized just became an online shop. Did you hear that?
have the 27 nakshatras, which are smaller portions of the zodiac, and their meanings are derived from the stars that are in those portions of the zodiac. So I will be talking about the meaning of what Dhanishta is all about. But most of all, I think this full moon is so important because it is happening in the axes of Cancer and Capricorn. And both of these signs deal with security, the economy, and government. And on top of that, we also have this full moon conjunct Saturn.
Yeah, Rebecca
Very
Minkoff.
tightly conjunct Saturn. And what that really does tell us is there is
This is not
something
fashion tech.
heavy. We're all
This is
feeling
even
this
worse than
heavy influence of what
I
is
thought.
happening and what more is to come.
Oh gosh.
So let me inform everyone before I
Give me
move
this
on
real knife.
to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. All of my you're there. Astrology use. Saturn is heavy. Saturn deals with government. Saturn deals with discipline, focus, but most of all, I think
At
in
me
Capricorn,
screenshotting some digital
it's bringing
pieces.
about so many changes around the world with government. Government changes because things need to be fixed after the whole 2-year crises.
Materialize
of the
those for me,
coronavirus,
please.
everything, there's a huge domino effect, and now it's affecting
The
the
ones I screenshotted.
economy and governments around the world because Dhanishta, that nakshatra, has such a relevance
So dope.
to financial situations and money. It's actually said to be the richest one, but it always denotes issues around financial matters. And Dhanishta, that nakshatra that the moon resides in, while it's full, is actually ruled by Mars. So this is a really intense nakshatra that really brings things to the focus. And if you'll notice, Mars on this day just shifts into a new sign. Actually, on the 10th of August, Mars moves into Taurus. And Taurus is another
historically
sign
first.
that does deal with financial matters and problems.
I wore
so
this
a
online.
lot is about to come down. We thought we were through the worst of it, and here
And this one.
there's another.
There's
There's
new.
another, yet another, and then
Stick
another,
the other
and
one.
another domino effect of things that are happening throughout this month. So August is intense. Let me just say, with the depressive effects of the moon with Saturn affecting the economy and the sun being in Cancer, and this will affect our sense of security with the economy, money matters, all of the above. Mars moving into the sign of Taurus starts to put a heavy influence on
It's a nice bag as well.
people's minds
I like the
in
bags.
terms of food, in terms of, seems like there's another event that causes delays from getting food on our tables, and they
What a surprise.
So, and also this month, Uranus is going to turn retrograde, starting the Earth to shake. And so that denotes many earthquakes that are about to come. And I also think it's not just earthquakes, it's earth-shattering events that are changing our perception of the world at large, because this is a global effect that this is happening to. Many people are becoming more and more concerned, and I think it has a lot to do with their safety, because world leaders are getting more desperate, and they're saying things that definitely puts us at risk or on guard.
Digital Village is
A lot
live.
about
I didn't
to
even know that.
unfold with this full moon, bringing everything to the forefront, dealing specifically with another crisis about to happen around food, around shipments, and of course, it's always relating back to this heavy influence of this virus. And as we come into the fall months in the Northern Hemisphere, viruses do become more rampant and heavier. So you're going to see all sorts of fear I get with Saturn being so close to the moon. And in the sign of Capricorn, many changes.
wanna accept
oh my
all
gosh,
this
so many
bullshit.
changes are going to be occurring around the world with world leaders.
Oh, look, you were so inaccessible, Digital Village, when I was in Paris. You were like building this next thing, and look what we were looking at. We're looking at some bullshit. You know what I mean? The fuck? You were there just because you're in Paris. It's the location.
Together in the same sign of the sun. Now it's going to be dipping in and out with the sun, but as Venus becomes combusts the sun, this is another issue that deals once again with material things and prosperity. It means that there's going to be some major shifts and changes with the stock markets. Again, yes. It's always this up and down cycle as Venus comes closer to the sun over the course of the next few months. Stock market will go down, but it seems to still go up and down. But for the most part, I'm looking at this. This is really what we're seeing as the recession that they keep talking about. Everyone says we're already in a recession. We may be, but still, the economy is an issue everywhere around the world. And basically, I think this deals with enormous fear. Now, to going into deeper into the nakshatra called Dhanishta. Dhanishta symbol is a drum or a flute. And what's interesting about that symbol is they're both instruments, but they're both hollow. And
really terrible presentation, Jules. What the fuck?
Of life and being at the right time, being at the right place at the right time, people having this sixth sense of knowing what to do during this time. So use this. This is something that you can take home and realize that you have much more ability to make choices and listen to what's within. Because when we're talking about timing, some people just know when to do something, where to go, and it all works. That's kind of the flow that Dhanishta gives people. So trust that. If you have the urge to go somewhere, do something, trust it, because that's all in your sixth sense of rhythm and timing. But the other thing about the instruments that are hollow is during this time we're all feeling pretty empty. Yes, this full moon represents a sense of emptiness. We don't feel whole, complete, or nourished or protected. And that really does go to show where the sun is right now, being in the sign of Cancer, protection. Capricorn, we expect to be protected by our government leaders.
Indian
Saturn being there,
version.
It's not being done. There's so much that could be done that is not being done. And the people feel that the pain of this. That's what this full moon is going to shed light onto. Remember, a full moon illuminates the darkness of the night sky. So it illuminates something where we're starting to see the leadership in the world needs a transformational change, but right now, people are at a loss as what to do. But this means this will be a turning point. This full moon will shed light on where the protection, the leadership, the power, how it needs to change. And let me assure you, it will change. That's the most important thing you must get out of this. But right now there is a need and there's a lack. There's a sense of hollowness. and not being whole and complete. But it will happen. It will come about. This I can assure you. So this is a very pivotal time. Not to mention that so many planets are retrograde on top of it. We have Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus is about to go retrograde, causing all sorts of change and disruption in the world. And Pluto is retrograde, and Neptune. This is huge. This means things have to be reassessed, reviewed, analyzed for the change to come, and it will come. And through the hollow emptiness that we're feeling right now, this is where we realize what needs to be done and moving forward to create the change that will eventually heal the planet. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information, remember you can always go.
Do you want to listen more? Arcturians want to say something. As always. There's no one marketplace for like ET themed products, right? Not yet. Can we make it? Love magazine. Only light language. But the thing with light language, it's not that it has to be called light language to be that. Yeah. Give me flying homes and books and crystals. You know, crystals are more like adoption process. Textiles as well. Authentic. How many fish? I love fish so much. I like the format. This is nice. Cover. I mean, look, we're here for covers. Business of cover. Something about Vienna, Austria that really keeps calling my name. Very nice. All about these organic shapes. Also, I'm in packaging business. How are we gonna call this link? Because this is very much collectible. That's a good point, huh? It's beautiful. When I can't read it, but I know it's cool. I know that's the thing. Just feel the energy. We would listen, it's okay. The higher gods. Oh, so nice. Good times. Local warming. Nice. Local warming. You know where I got my skills with the language excellence? Local New York City, Manhattan. Can't wish for more training. Very cute. Versailles though. Amazing. Amazing. Edition size 500. Just so you know. Why more? Who are the badasses who are printing 200 books in year 71 in Cologne, Germany? The girl living where? I love the fact that it's never ending scroll. But we have to get out. Oh, that, like, look, this is amazing. Stars. Amazing. How one becomes a member at this bookshop? Closed. Why is it closed? Because it's now? Free digital download, my loves. Look at us. Amazing. Which one we want to look at? This is good, huh? PDFs, the next cool websites. Yay. Amazing. Yo, we're gonna be diving deep in there. So many places to dive deep in the metaverse, huh? This part. Looks like textiles, but it's not. You know, create books that are covered with textiles. That would be cute. True colors. This poncho. Can you imagine more publications from Lisbon, please? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be here forever if we're gonna go into these rabbit holes. And then we have a Whitney org, page 11. Imagine. Do you wanna listen to me? Somebody already watched it. Oh, I think it was us. Pages. You don't want to listen to me. Portraits, wow. Why would a museum want these people? Don't think so. I mean, it's American Museum. Oh, this one I did. Do you think they own some Hilma F. Clint? That is not so public. I just want to see. I like this one. Not on view. Crazy, right? So much is not on view. Beyond the visible flicker. I'm so glad and blessed to have gone to the Guggenheim's exhibition with her. There was no other. Such amazing maps for us. Reference points. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. She's literally showing how fast everything's gonna go. But also like the colors, right? Let's be honest. Wow. Oh wow. Look, my love's way too good. Wow. Channeled it all for us. I feel her. You fuckers better recognize my work before I die. More than you did, Hilma. Give us voices at this point and move out. Build structures to support us and you not yourself, okay? It's the women. You're gonna be speaking more. You're gonna be building everything for her. Everything you do is because of her. Because of the merge. But it's her who carried you down here. Respect. Look, this is absolutely necessary information. Like, you don't need to learn anything in life, yet look at this frequencies of light work. Okay. I think she builds like all the flags for all the Metaslavic lands to come. Let's agree on this. This is beyond I wonder what's that sequence for specifically from this blog. Oh, look, what I really miss from Web 2, Web 1 even. I don't know, tell me when the blogs came in. What? Really? Wow. What is happening? That's too good. This presentation. Just gonna copy all of them, you know what I mean? Collection. I'm so grateful. Do you think? No. Like I can't, I feel that I can, but come on. But like, this is so good. It's honestly, when I look at this is beyond Van Gogh to me. And don't get me wrong, I understand Van Gogh very well. Let's be honest, this is more than him in terms of real communications. The fuck? You know, this is amazing. Yeah, look, I'm gonna. You know what I mean? What is happening? Are they making love? 111. What? Let's just. The keeper. Can I play it here, please?
It goes beyond the visual. She was courageous in so many ways.
What's astounding is her bravery. There was nothing being made like this in the whole world.
We leap into full non-objective abstraction. That just turned things on its head.
At the turn of the 20th century, the world was on the brink of dramatic change. Political, scientific, and cultural evolution fundamentally changed reality. Art was changing too. Painters like Vasily Kandinsky and Piet Mondrian began to replace perceived reality with science, natural color with symbolic color, representation with abstraction. A new expressive form emerged. In 1944, as war again raged in Europe, these two icons of abstract art died, their legacy secured. But that very same year, another artist passed, one whose work was yet unknown to the public. A female artist who worked to make the invisible visible. Who was she? Helma af Klint, an artist for the future. In a career spanning 6 decades, Helma af Klint produced hundreds of paintings and thousands of pages of writings and notes that are as confounding as they are revelatory. But she may have left the world with more questions than she did answers.
Hilma af Klint's abstract work predates the work by artists that we have long considered the pioneers of abstraction. Af Klint, working apart from those artists, just doesn't fit into our story.
Born in Sweden in 1862, Af Klint was among the earliest women to study at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Stockholm. She painted botanical studies, landscape paintings. Here's a self-portrait. But her experience with spiritualism and the science of the day sparked her interest in new ideas.
Whether it's Christian, Rosicrucian, Theosophical, she explored many different spiritual realms.
Af Klint began to conduct seance sessions with a group of like-minded women. They called themselves the Five. Here's the table they met at. Here's an altar they built. Together they would communicate with spirits as mediums. The guides they encountered would send them messages, which eventually took the shape of art. One of these seance sessions proved to be fateful. In 1906, a spiritual guide commissioned Af Klint to prepare an artistic message for humankind. From January to November of that year, she did just that, in secret.
This commission that she receives becomes really her life work.
In the period between 1906 and 1915, Af Klint produced 193 paintings that attempted to represent the spirit of the world.
She had complete and total faith that it contained meaning, and meaning that was essential to how the universe is put together.
A mystical, idiosyncratic geometry emerged.
They look like sacred geometric languages. So it's living. It's a living being, her work.
Colors took on gender roles. Blue, female. Yellow, male. Green, the unity of the two. Forms began to interlock or even come into collision, like this series of swans. Botanical studies stood beside watercolors of the energy of those plants. Words and letters, sometimes indecipherable, populated the frame. Af Klint charted and codified these images and her philosophy in an expansive series of notebooks.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's poems, what she's writing.
She was creating a kind of library of ideas.
The 10 largest are among her earliest abstract paintings, and some of the first ever made.
The scale of the 10 largest is really remarkable.
Gigantic, beautiful, bright pink images.
The subject is just as monumental as the paintings themselves. The 10 paintings go through the lifespan of humans from birth to old age.
And it's suddenly like the world might be different.
Af Klint rarely exhibited this work, keeping these paintings and hundreds like them from public view for her entire life. She even stipulated that her works not be shown for 20 years after her death. Why Af Klint withheld much of her work from contemporary criticism remains a mystery. Was the public simply not ready? Did she break too much ground?
I wish that I could ask her myself.
I don't think she wants it to be clear. It's a journey. It's for you to figure out. It's more complicated than that.
There's something so powerful in Hilma's work. It's really wonderful that she allowed us to save the message until now.
She was looking to the future for a time when there would be a viewer who would understand the messages
Right.
that she felt she was putting out in these paintings.
Ideas always expanded beyond the edge of the canvas for Af Klint. The spiral, an ever-recurring motif across her paintings, extended to her plans for the work's eventual exhibition. She made sketches for a circular building to house her paintings, where viewers would take in the work as they ascended a spiral staircase towards the heavens.
Amazing. You know, Where's the exhibition? I was planning to establish the exhibition by the 8-8 portal. It's just gonna be me and Hilma invited this time around. Blavatsky directed. Wait, this is happening in Berlin? I would just go to Berlin just for that. But also MoMA. That's a bit on the spiritual art trending. Stockholm. Tate London. Amazing. More Stockholm. I want her expression in Metaslavia, please. Local Swedish. Good museum list. This is beyond Alex Gray or vision trained people. So many frames. You see, like, what she didn't do, she didn't personalize. Then all other spiritual art before her basically were personalizing mostly. Right? I'm talking about channeling pure spirit. Mm. Okay, and now there are people here. So, never mind. Can't avoid some figures to ground it back into the earth. Also, yeah, Kandinsky, light artist. Depends on his mood. Mostly. Wow, this one. Do you see this heart? What? You know? I really want to see this one in person. Turning it on, but really, as we can see in a close-up, pretty obvious that, you know, pointing into the vagina. The dragon. But that's a womb. Can make it up, I want to channel it. You know, men they don't channel. Not really. The women are channeling. Yeah, like at this point. I mean, more of that. So excellent. But the thing with her work, it would be too much to have it at home. This is public good. 100%. Can be hidden in a home. Has to be shown. How about this one? I wonder what the notes say. Someone make tarot cards with Hilma A.F. Clint. Mm. Oh yeah. Wow. Feels like they all are fragments of each other one way or another anyway. But then you see Kandinsky goes next. But notice the colors. Hmm? A rainbow? No, no, they're not. Of course, the background color makes a whole mood. It's Klee. Well, so Kandinsky produces, while Clint is channeling. Do you think this is Paul Klee? Or is something very contemporary? And I'm just not. Evolution. Amazing. Wow. Oh, you know what? I'm realizing who's watching my YouTube videos. Just realizing now. Well, it's been 2 years, so. Wait. It's been 3 years. This project has been way too long, huh? Okay. Let's talk about this one. Well, it is a sacrifice of a kind, huh? Well, it is a sacrifice. It's like the portal, the entry point into new. I really want to see the close up. Oh wow. I have not seen this one before. Wow. I want to see all of her life work in person, please. Well, look at this layering work. Wow. What is happening? What is happening? Yo, this is so good. 888, как раз когда Блаватская издала доктрину. Oh, wow. This is Hilma. Excuse me. Right? Well, you know, right? And the background here. Like, what is happening? It's so good. So good. It is good as well, you know. It's not bad. Yeah, amazing. Like, look at the look this. Okay? This. Wow. Like, I don't know, it's just excellent. Oh, of course. Nice. Amaliel. Amaniel. Amaniel, akte mon riktiä, tos tussa täällä laiki, kulla tulkudeinu riktiä, tuosta ei tolaiki taipudon kirjalla. Понятно. Выше нали, ай кайто лай ноудия, что молоке, вот это что ну сутурила я ноке, колай то. Изначальный хаос. Yeah, this one, huh? Вот это очень интересно. Yeah, sure. Yeah. А далекое будущее рисовали очень сильно. Духовное в искусстве. В искусстве должно быть только духовное. Если там нет духовного, то это не искусство. Ну вот, ребят, давайте возьмем вот эту работу и почувствуем ее. Что мы чувствуем тут? Ну, умирает человек. Pretty obvious. Смотри, у него тут вот выходит 2 тела почему-то. Почему у него 2 тела? Умирает. Причем солнцем, лучами выжигается. А что мы еще можем здесь видеть? Не, ребят, вообще мега круто. Ну, смотрите, какие цвета. Единственное, нельзя их резать. Я поэтому не скриншочу. Не могу их резать. Нельзя их резать. Метаславский музей, пожалуйста. $21 всего. Oh yeah. Yo, those are very low prices for Hilma. Someone drew her. Well, I want to buy all of them. That's all I know. Sold. This one is excellent. Absolutely excellent. Studio. Wow. This one. Medium. Okay, well. This is very meta that somebody else's drew her studio. I would like to see more of the works of this unique artist. fiery flames. We already took the picture. Cute. Yeah, look, Artsy, I want you to give me. Oh, so he's like drawing people's studios. That's like a theme. Yeah, Artsy, give me numbers, all of the statistics that you can think of. I'm interested in all of them. But really, like, okay, price database, more than that. Like, sociographic, visual, referencing, everything AI, like, everything about the facts of these artists and specifically the patterns of their life, actually. Price database. Textile art. Artist name. Very limiting. Outside of names, concepts. Silk. Thread. Yeah. I'm the one who wants to love you. Good times. Still. Even by color. Okay, wow. This collection. Interesting. Wow. Talking about thread. Right? Wow. Divine pendulum. Okay. Last one. For today. Amazing. Reference library, said Frick. Not bad. Так, ну читали уже. Oh, so bad. Pinterest had become a completely sad place. Can't look at any other artwork after her, you know what I mean? Like, honestly.